I will be known as TBE, the best ever.
A Floyd Mayweather weigh-in is not just a formality, it's an event. Thousands line up hours in advance to witness the pound-for-pound king stepping on the scales. 1 year ago, Mayweather squared off with Robert Guerrero. The much-anticipated return of the undefeated champion drew attention from fans and media.
Floyd Mayweather has not missed a beat. The Mayday main event comes to a close.
Last September, in a showdown of undefeated champions, Canelo Alvarez was the co-star for the most lucrative boxing event in history. Once again, the weigh-in set the stage for the mega event, with a record turnout inside a packed MGM Grand Garden Arena.
You know how these young kids are. Tomorrow I go out there, I got to tame the kid.
Look at this display by Floyd Mayweather.
Now the upset-minded Marcos Maidana is prepared to enter the spotlight against Floyd Mayweather. The slugger believes his fists can solve boxing's untouchable puzzle.
Mayweather debe saber que se tiene que cuidar y sé que de un golpe lo puedo llegar a tirar o a noquear.
Weigh in live. Mayweather Maidana, next from the MGM Grand Garden Arena.
All right, fans, here we go. It's time for the bout you've all been waiting for. This crowd going wild. He is in trouble. Look at his legs. Oh, they are going at it. Tyson, laying it on, pouring it on. Down goes Bruno into the rope. The right by Buckley, it hurts his down. Oh, down goes Chavez for the first time in his career. A shot by Evander Holyfield. Castillo's in trouble. What a fight! It's showtime!
And welcome everyone to sunny Las Vegas for this Showtime Boxing Special Edition. I'm Brian Kenny and welcome to the weigh-in for what is expected to be the biggest fight card of 2014. The return of #1 pound for pound, the welterweight champion of the world, Floyd Money Mayweather, taking on Marcos Maidana. Also we'll have the weigh-in for Amir versus Luis Collazo. We are live at the beautiful MGM Grand Garden Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. Once again, they have opened up the MGM Grand Garden Arena to the public, opened up the entire arena for only the second time. The first time was last September against Canelo Alvarez. That was the Mayweather-Canelo fight, which was a huge scene. This also a tremendous scene, a huge crowd here as well. Maybe not quite as many people as that mega event, but they have stopped admitting people into the arena, opened up. The place is almost packed. We've got a fast-paced hour ahead for you. Again, we've got the names Mayweather, Khan, the return of Adrian Broner. It's the welterweight championship of the world. We'll hear from our broadcast team, Al Bernstein, Mauro Ranallo, and PAULIE MALIGNAGGI. The fighters themselves from the main event will be here up on the desk. We'll have the weigh-in for you. We'll get Al Bernstein's keys to victory. And we've got the latest from our reporters right near the scales, Jim Gray and Brian Custer. Right now, Amir Khan and Luis Collazo are ready. Let's get it down to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen from the MGM Grand here in Las Vegas, good afternoon to you, and we welcome you to the official weigh-in for tomorrow night's semi-main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Silver Welterweight Championship. Weight limit 147 pounds, brought to you by Mayweather Promotions, Golden Boy Promotions, and Showtime. Sponsored by Corona, La Cerveza Más Fina, AT&T, Rethink Possible, and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. And now, first to the scale, ranked the WBA #2 contender. Please welcome the former champion of the world, Luis Collazo.
Back behind the tape, sir. 147. Yep.
Luis Collazo weighs in at the welterweight limit of 147 pounds. And now, ladies and gentlemen, ranked the WBC #2 contender. Here is the former champion of the world, Amir
147.
Amir Khan weighs in the same at 147 pounds.
There's Amir Khan, who thought he would have a chance at being in the main event against Floyd Mayweather. Mayweather instead went with Marcos Maidana after Maidana's impressive win over Adrian Broner. Kind of won over the hearts and minds of the voting public, voting when they're going to buy the pay-per-view. So Floyd went that direction. And Amir Khan gets Luis Collazo, who was very impressive in a stunner. And maybe we shouldn't be so stunned with a knockout victory over Victor Ortiz. Brian Kenny here with Al Bernstein, Mauro Ranallo, and Paulie Malignaggi. Jim Gray is going to be talking to the fighters in just a moment. Al, your thoughts as you see both men getting in at the welterweight limit?
Well, you know, we expected both of them to get into at this weight limit comfortably. For Luis Collazo, right now, a big moment in a career that has not always gone exactly the way he wanted it to go.
A lot to prove, too, Paulie, for Khan on tomorrow night, where he's got to look impressive.
Yeah, at one time, Khan was very promising and he was looking stellar, but his last couple of performances have left a little bit to be desired.
Still fast hands, good boxer, young. He's still got a lot going for him.
A ton of ability.
Collazo has proven himself before. He gave Ricky Hatton fits in Boston. A lot of people thought he deserved that decision. That was close. And then he just starched Victor Ortiz.
Yeah, he also gave Andre Berto a very close fight. It could have went either way as well. So Collazo battle-tested. Khan obviously has had some big wins in his career. This is a good crossroads fight.
This is a 50-50 fight, too. Fans need to know that.
You think it's that close?
I believe it's a
really?
I believe it's a pick'em fight. I really do.
I agree. I can't agree more.
Let's go down to the stage and Jim Gray.
All right, Brian, thank you very much. Luis, an opportunity tomorrow night to kind of rectify a lot of the things of your up and down career. Did you ever think you'd have this opportunity again?
You know, when you have faith in God, anything is possible. And I'm just blessed to be here and humbled by it. And I just want to come out here and give the fight fans what they want, excitement.
And how much have you been able to build on that momentum since beating Ortiz back around Super Bowl time?
Everything. You know, the outcome of the fans, the motivation, this fight here just took me to another level. I'm just blessed to be here.
We all know how mentally tough you are. How much will that come into play tomorrow night, having been through all that you've gone through?
This is another step to get where I want to get. That's on top of the welterweight division.
All right, Luis, best of luck. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, and thank everybody for coming out. Tomorrow, y'all gonna enjoy a great fight. Thank you.
All right, Luis, thank you very much. Amir, nice to see you. Thanks for joining us here. You have a huge opportunity tomorrow night. Do you have something that you have to prove so you can put yourself into those sweepstakes of the main event, which you would hope to be in?
Yeah, definitely. You know, first of all, I just want to say what a great crowd this is. Amazing crowd, man. And a lot of people from the UK here as well. The UK guys, Khan's Army. Yeah, man. But yeah, definitely, this fight can take me on to bigger and better fights. And but you know, I'm not looking past Luis Collazo. Luis Collazo is a tough guy. He's going to come to fight, and that's what I'm going to do. I really believe that this fight can definitely steal the show on Saturday night. I mean, both guys are going to come here 100%. We both made weight. We ready to go, man.
You've had a long layoff, quite some time now. Any concern about any rust?
Well, you know what? I've had about 12 months out of the ring. I think that's giving me a nice break. On top of that, it's also, I was in the gym for the last 8 months working hard. So it's not like I've been doing nothing, you know. So the break I needed, but at the same time, you know, I've been working my strength conditioning. I've worked my way very hard to get this 147 category. This is my first fight at 147. I just can't wait to put on a great performance for the great crowd here.
Best of luck, and we'll talk to you tomorrow night.
Thank you very much, everyone.
All right, thanks, Amir. Let's go back to Brian Kenny at the desk.
Jim, thank you so much. Again, Brian Kenny here with Al Bernstein, Mauro Ranallo, and Paulie Malignaggi. Let's talk about Amir Khan for a moment. This is a guy, again, he last year, after Ramadan, then got married, and then he put off a fight with Devin Alexander because he thought he was going to get the fight with Floyd Mayweather. Take a look at the tail of the tape first here, where they both come in at 147 pounds. Amir Khan, he looks longer, Al, and he is actually longer.
Yeah, it's a key number there. I think the reach advantage for him, because he wants to use that jab to stay on the outside, not have to engage all the time. And probably the other key number is 33 for Collazo. He does not, though, look like a shop-worn fighter at all.
Yeah, one last thing on Khan. He's 27 years old. That's in his prime. This guy is supremely skilled. Paulie, I think a great Amir Khan could give Floyd Mayweather some trouble. Now, will we see a great Amir Khan?
Well, that's the question here. You know, it seems like ever since that left hook by Danny Garcia knocked him out, it hasn't been the same confident Amir Khan. That confidence that he had translated to his speed, just his whole boxing style. He took a lot of chances, but he was so fast that he got away with them. Once he realized that left hook landed, and it kind of made him pay the price of taking those chances, he's not as apt to take those chances anymore. And you see him in a little bit of a slower situation. Maybe he's still fast, still very fast, but he's a bit slower than he was.
Let's talk about the welterweight championship of the world. Let's talk about the weights first. What's significant here, Al, that we should be looking for Mayweather and Maidana?
Well, you know, I think these two fighters, first of all, for Maidana, he has got to show that he can be a volume puncher, that he can really do something effective against Floyd Mayweather and not become a less volume puncher, which happens often.
What about Maidana being 147 pounds? I mean, he's a good puncher, but at this weight, Paulie?
You know what? He's shown he's taken the power up with him. He knocked down Adrian Broner 2 times. He knocked out Jesus Soto Carras. Jesus Soto Carras is a guy who's tough to knock out, a guy who's fought as big as a junior middleweight, 154 pounds. Maidana knocked him out. So I don't think it's a question of whether Maidana's taking the power up with him. I think it's an answer. He's definitely taking the power up with him.
And Morrow, this is some scene. I mean, they opened up the whole place, and this place is nearly filled. Yeah, you can't compare it to like the Canelo fight, because that did over 2 million buys, but this is quite a reaction now to the superstar of Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, absolutely. I had friends come down from Canada. They were unable to get into the MGM Grand for the weigh-in. Leading up to the weigh-in tonight, we've had people from Argentina here, as you see the flags, people from the United Kingdom, all over the United States. When Floyd Mayweather fights, it's not just a fight. It transcends the sport. It truly is a spectacle.
If only your friends knew somebody.
Yeah.
Maybe they could get in here. How are your friends outside? The welterweight champion of the world, also the junior middleweight champion of the world. It's Floyd Mayweather. Let's get down to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime! From the MGM Grand Garden Arena here in Las Vegas, we present the official weigh-in for tomorrow night, the moment and the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the unified welterweight championship of the world, brought to you by Mayweather Promotions, Golden Boy Promotions, and Showtime, sponsored by Corona La Cerveza Más Fina, AT&T, Rethink Possible, and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. And now, please welcome to the stage the hard-hitting 2-time division world champion, Marcos El Chino Maidana.
Don't trip the challenger on the way in, please. Marcos Maidana coming in, and this is significant, fellas. Paulie, let me start with you. This is a mega event. He's been nonplussed in every fight he's been in. He's a warrior, but this is a little different, is it, or am I wrong?
No, it's certainly different. I think all fighters Mayweather has fought have been part of big events, but certainly when you fight Floyd Mayweather, it is the biggest event you're going to be a part of. This is the final hurdle of all the promotional stuff. Tomorrow night, Maidana's going to be in a ring with Floyd Mayweather. He knows what it's all about to be in the ring.
Yeah, Al, he's extremely experienced. He's not coming in here some kid. He's been through an awful lot, usually on the road.
He really has been, and you make the point, you know, not a lot of fights back in Argentina, major fights for him. And the interesting thing about Maidana is the fact that he's not savvy to things in boxing. Say he doesn't watch boxing on TV. At the weigh-in, he barely knew who Bernard Hopkins was. You know, this is a guy who just knows, I go to the ring and I can fight. That may help him.
Marcos Maidana there on the stage. Now time for the welterweight champion of the world. Back to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
And now here he is, boxing's #1 attraction and pound-for-pound star, Floyd Money Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather can pack the house. He comes in. It's not as crazy as it was against Canelo Alvarez, where you don't have that raucous Mexican fan base here, Al. But you can see, again, this man is a superstar attraction.
Yeah, certainly close to 8,000 people here. And one thing is, you look at Floyd Mayweather coming in, and I think it's such an obvious part of this. He's comfortable in his own shoes when he's doing something like this, and there's a lot to be said for that.
And Brian, at the early part of his career, I think they tried to promote him as the all-American boy with the pearly white smile. He said, you know what, I'm all about the hip-hop culture. He's all about the flash, the bling. He's got 2 chains. He's got Rick Ross. And Floyd Mayweather is very confident about who he is. Yes, there's the money persona. There's the larger-than-life personality, the self-aggrandizing speech. But when it comes down to taking care of business, nobody does it like Floyd Money Mayweather.
At the age of 37 as well, Paulie, it's remarkable. At this age, he's come in and he has always been such a pro in the ring on fight night.
Yeah, he's disciplined, but that's because he's such a pro with his preparation going into fight night. You don't just show up on fight night and act like a pro. This guy lives like a pro. He trains hard, he's dedicated. Hard work and dedication is his motto, and he really shows that with his performances in the ring, that he's always fully prepared for battle on fight night.
Get back to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
All right, fans, here we go. 147-pound weight limit. First from Margarita, Santa Fe, Argentina. Here is the current WBA welterweight champion of the world, Marcos El Chino Maidana.
Behind the tape.
Marcos Maidana weighs in at 146.5 pounds. And now we invite to the scale the man defending his WBC welterweight title and his undefeated record, the 5-division champion of the world, Floyd Money Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather weighs in at a ready 146 pounds.
You know, Al, 146 pounds for Floyd Money Mayweather, the welterweight champ, and it just shows he doesn't need to be at 147. I mean, he could be lighter than this. This is just where he is and where most of the action is, where most of the money is.
He walks around in the 150s, so he stays in shape. He's close to that weight limit, and I think it's very comfortable for him now at 147, has been for a long, long time.
Because, Paulie, I'm pointing out, like, you know, Oscar De La Hoya, Felix Trinidad, those guys at welterweight had to make weight. He doesn't have to make weight. That's his weight.
Well, yeah, you'd assume so, but I also see him very cut up, and he is a little dry. He doesn't walk around at 147, but like Al said, he walks around in the 150s, and that's generally pretty close to a weight class the fighter fights at.
So, all right, you're a good read on the skin there. You think he's hungry right now?
Marcos or Floyd?
No, Floyd.
Floyd, I'm sure he's ready for a meal, but I mean, I would say he's starving.
A steak, perhaps? Lobster,
perhaps.
maybe?
Yeah.
Caviar? High level, right, Moro?
Yeah, absolutely.
Not French toast.
Just the best of the best. But Marcos Maidana, too, comes in at under 147. And just reading his body language, unlike others who have faced Floyd Mayweather, he certainly does not seem to be intimidated or, taken in by the magnitude of this moment. And that, to me, is a very telling sign. And here we'll look at it at the stare down.
Paulie, what
do you think of the sort of stare down there?
Well, first off, I noticed Floyd didn't talk. He usually talks. But that's also probably because he knows Marcos doesn't understand English.
A strategic move by Money Mayweather, knowing it would be wasted. Why waste that energy? Good point. Yeah, efficient at all times. Also, look, you know, guys are not going to be intimidated. These guys are professionals. A lot of times, though, in the ring, when you're suddenly confronted with this guy who can really box, it does make guys into something different.
I'll refer back to the Canelo weigh-in when he was quite animated and verbal, pushed Mayweather's hands away and all the rest of it. Got in the ring against Floyd Mayweather and did not produce an aggressive fight.
Let's go down to Jim Gray.
All right, Brian, thank you very much. Felix de Jesus will translate. Marcos, how are you handling this atmosphere and all of these people and all of this excitement that this fight is building toward?
¿Cómo está manejando todo lo que está pasando aquí en este momento con tantos fanáticos y todo lo que se está viendo en estos momentos?
No, muy tranquilo, con ganas de pelear, con ganas de ganarle porque tengo mucho público, muchos latinoamericanos que están apoyándome y quiero darle el gusto.
I'm very calm and relaxed today and thanking all the Latin crowd that's here today and ready for the fight.
Why are you so calm? Why are you so confident?
¿Por qué está tan tranquilo y tiene tanta confianza?
No, porque mi estilo, porque sé que Mayweather es grande, todo lo que quiera y cuando más grande es, más le quiero ganar.
No, because of my style. I know Mayweather is big and all that, but since he's that big, that's why I want to beat him.
Do you feel as though having beaten Broner that you have seen what Floyd Mayweather is and now you just have to execute the same type of fight?
Como le ganaste a Broner de la misma manera, ¿cree que le puede ganar a Floyd Mayweather?
Mayweather es mucho más que Broner. Es una pelea más difícil, pero me tengo mucha fe por mi estilo, por mi golpe. Así que voy a salir para adelante y si me tiene que ganar, que me gane como un campeón.
Mayweather is going to be a more difficult fight, definitely than Andrew and Broner. He's a better fighter, but because of my style and what I have to offer today, I'm going to win.
Marcos, thank you. Best of luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
All right. Let's now walk over and speak to Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd, nice to see you, sir. Floyd, let me ask you, it's been a lot of stress this week for you. I'm just wondering about the distractions going on outside the ring, if it'll have any effect on you fighting.
First off, I just want to thank all the fans, you know, for coming out. Because I wouldn't be where I'm at in my career without the fans. You guys have been brilliant. Las Vegas have been brilliant, the MGM Grand. And my job is to go out there and do what I do best. You know, I think I perform better under pressure. So I look forward to going out there, being Floyd Mayweather, taking my time, keeping my composure, and doing what I do best.
So all of this going on is kind of normal for you?
Pressure.
Pressure is normal.
I love it. I love it. You know, the main thing is, as long as God love me, I'm okay.
Fans want to know, so your head's on straight for tomorrow night?
I'm ready to fight.
What concerns you both most about Marcos Maidana? He beat what everybody said was Little Floyd in Adrian Broner.
Well, the thing is, you know, I can't take that away from him. He got here somehow, some way. So I cannot overlook this guy. He has an 80% knockout ratio, which is a good thing. He's the champion, I'm a champion, and that's what the fans want to see, champion versus champion, and he's a tough competitor.
TMT has been replaced by TBE. We look forward to tomorrow night.
Thank you. Showtime, I love you.
All right, thank you, Floyd. Let's go back to Brian Kenny.
Jim, thank you so much. Take a look at the tail of the tape as you see Marcos Maidana coming in at 146.5 pounds. Not a natural welterweight, moving up, certainly has power. And Floyd Mayweather at an even 146. Al, Maidana at 30 experienced, Mayweather remarkable at 37.
Yeah, and they're both, of course, just under the limit which we expect them to be. Normally, if you have a fighter that's 37 and the fighter that's 30, you might say, gee, the age might be a factor. Nobody thinks the age is a factor in this fight.
It's a good point, Paulie. We've been kind of waiting for this to eventually happen, and I think over the last two fights, you know, the aging process to coming, like, yeah, the reflexes are going to slow. I'm not even thinking that at all until we're confronted by it, that eventually it should happen, but we haven't, the last couple of fights, it hasn't even been close.
No, we haven't seen it. You know, he's not very shop worn. You know, he's not a guy who's ever been hit. He hasn't been in really any wars, and that can kind of go a long way into not letting you kind of deteriorate as your career progresses. So if Mayweather's kept himself pretty fresh, he lives a good life, he lives a clean life, doesn't get hit a lot, whether it is in the gym or in fights. So So, you know, it's possible that he's been able to keep himself a little younger than his 37 years.
Yeah, I've talked to our colleague Raul Marquez, former junior middleweight titleist, this morning, and he said that, look, Maidana is not going to be flustered by any of this. He doesn't know who Leonard Ellerby is. He doesn't know who Brian Kenny is. That's kind of it's a little upsetting.
Don't get carried away on that.
I'm all right, yes. But Al, I guess that's a benefit when you just walk in and say, no, I'm just boxing this guy. He can really jab, but I'm just boxing this guy. Does that happen, or does he look around and think, wow, this is different?
Yeah, I think that there is something to be said for that, because Marcos Maidana has a warrior mentality, and he's a fighter who faces adversity inside the ring and shrugs it off. And like part of it is that mentality. He doesn't know what's going on in the rest of it.
Right, absolutely. Marcos Maidana has told us that all he has been thinking in the gym with Robert Garcia and Oxnard, the mantra throughout the camp has been, Mayweather has to kill me. Mayweather has to kill me. He is going to be tenacious. He's going to start exactly like he did against Adrian Broner, and that really is the key. This is what it's all about. What will happen in the first couple of rounds? As we've seen in the past, Floyd Mayweather has the uncanny ability to collect all the data, make those subtle adjustments, and then take his opponents to school. It's going to be up to Marcos Maidana to close the real estate, almost be like a conjoined twin for Mayweather on Saturday night.
Throwing so many visual images at me, I don't even know where to start. So Al, break it down for us. Give us the keys to victory here.
I won't be quite as eloquent as Morrow was there, but I have to say that, people are assuming that a big part of Marcos Maidana's success will come by being the warrior, by coming in, throwing volumes of punches, and being impervious to the counterpunching of Mayweather and trying to really get to him. Well, that's true, but there are more nuances involved. Marcos Maidana, with 31 KOs and 35 wins, is the power puncher in his match with Floyd Mayweather. The problem is landing those big punches. Here's how the big-hitting Argentine might do it. Jose Luis Castillo gave Mayweather trouble with volume punching. Maidana can't hesitate to throw. Maidana's jab is much improved, and when he throws it to the body, it helps set up his left hook. And this punch is vital if you hope to beat Mayweather. Against Adrian Broner, Maidana jabbed to the body often, as in this case, what started out as a jab turned into a left hook. Twice in the fight, he sent Broner down with this punch. He hoped for the same result against Mayweather, and with it, a huge upset win. Floyd Mayweather is the most skilled boxer of his generation. Even at age 37, those skills show no sign of erosion. He'll play matador to Maidana's bull-like rushes. When Mayweather keeps things in the center of the ring, he's hardly ever hit. Movement is deadly to Maidana. Devin Alexander used it to outbox him. The Mayweather right lands with frightening accuracy. Mayweather has many ways of landing the right. Against Canelo Alvarez, he expertly used 2 touch jabs to set the punch up. The right hand followed quickly and accurately. It's Mayweather's major offensive weapon. He'll use it often in his effort to remain unbeaten.
We've been talking about, you just mentioned, Morrow, that Mayweather's going to have to kill me. He's not going to kill him. He's going to take the air out of the building and out of the ball. We saw it with Bernard Hopkins. I talked to B-Hop earlier this morning as well, and he was saying, look, he goes, I can slow it down just by my presence. I'm going to hypnotize the guy. Bernard Hopkins and Floyd Mayweather, we're talking masters here. Can he do that to Maidana?
Well, you're gonna have to do that. There's a lot of ways to change or frustrate a guy who wants to keep punching at you. One of them is changing range. Mayweather does change range a lot. Also, changing the look. You present different targets. He's got to readjust to the tempo. He's got to readjust to what he sees that wants to throw. So you can't just keep throwing without readjusting. So there's ways to frustrate a guy who wants to keep throwing and shut him down. Mayweather has shown us he's done that in the past.
All right, again, Floyd Mayweather, welterweight champion of the world, junior middleweight champion of the world as well. Let's go to the junior welterweight champion of the world, the champ at 140 pounds, Danny Garcia, with our own Brian Custer right now. Brian?
Okay, that's right. He is undefeated, the unified junior welterweight champion of the world. You saw the weigh-in. Give me your perspective. Mayweather, Maidana, who are you going with?
Oh, it was a tremendous weigh-in. It was a great outcome. It's a beautiful atmosphere. I love coming to the Mayweather fights, man. He brings out all the great fans, the true fans, and I think both fighters are ready. They both weighed in under the limit. I know Maidana's hungry. Floyd got the experience, and I'm just here to see a great fight as a fan.
You got an interesting perspective in the co-feature. You fought Amir Khan. You dropped Amir Khan. It hadn't been the same fighter, seems like, after he fought you. What do you see in that Collazo-Amir Khan fight?
It's an interesting fight, man. Khan got the speed, and you know, Collazo's real hungry right now, so I know he wants to make a big statement in the boxing world. I think it's gonna be one of the best fights of the night, to be honest with you. Khan's speed. I think Collazo's key to the victory is landing good counter punches, hard counter punches, because you know Khan don't have one of the best chins. So if he can land a good shot, he might get it, but if he lets Khan outbox him, then Khan will get it.
Got to let you go, but real quickly, you saw Lucas Matisse on Championship Boxing just last week. He says he wants to fight you. I understand you're going to fight in July. Do you want to fight Lucas Matisse again?
I beat him once, I can beat him again.
There you have it, Danny Garcia. BK, back to you.
Hey, you know what, fellas? If he wants to do that, I'd like to watch that.
Sign me
right?
up.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much. Coming up here, we're going to be talking one-on-one. Floyd Mayweather, also Marcus Maidana will be up here as well. Stay with us right now. First, though, the sights and sounds of today's weigh-in. Once again here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, the weigh-ins completed. Now a special live edition of All Access. All part of the build-up to tomorrow night's Showtime pay-per-view. The moment, Mayweather versus Maidana, the welterweight championship of the world, live 9 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Pacific. Floyd Mayweather returns to the ring for the first time in 2014, and his opponent slugging Marcos Maidana of Argentina. WBC, WBA, and Ring Magazine championships all on the line. Again, the Ring Magazine title signifying the consensus linear champion. He's the welterweight champion of the world. The co-feature should be terrific as well. Amir Khan looking to get a date with Floyd Money Mayweather, taking on Luis Collazo, who comes off an exhilarating win against Victor Ortiz. 2 more bouts on the pay-per-view, and they're good ones as well. It's the return of Adrian Broner, coming off his first professional loss, takes on Carlos Molina at junior welterweight. He's moving down in class, probably a smart move to 140 pounds. He looked great here today. And the card opens up with super middleweights, the unbeaten Jalen Love squaring off with the veteran Marco Antonio Parabon. Great night of boxing coming your way, a very deep card available Saturday night on Showtime pay-per-view starting at 9 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Pacific. So earlier today, not too long ago, Adrian Broner and Carlos Molina coming on to the stage. Carlos Molina coming in at 138.5 pounds. Molina 17-1-1 with 7 knockouts, and there's Adrian Broner. Looked great at 140 and coming in at an even, muscular 140 pounds. I don't know if he's going to be able to keep that beard. Might make him shave that. He had some words for Molina. Molina had nothing to say. He'll get his chance to answer with his fists tomorrow night. Take a look at the tail of the tape. Adrian Broner, once the best lightweight in the world, then moved up to 147 pounds, still young, 24 years old. Comes in with the reach advantage as well on Molina, who's also only 28 years old. And Broner actually the bigger man in the ring for tomorrow night's fight. So Adrian Broner versus Carlos Molina. We're going to bring back in our crew right now in Al Bernstein, Mauro Ranallo, and Paulie Malignaggi as we come back here live to the MGM Grand Garden Arena here in Las Vegas. As you saw moments ago, Floyd Mayweather coming in to a great reception and a packed house. Coming in like a pro, as we mentioned, 147 pounds. And I think it is fascinating here because Amir Khan has a lot to prove, still world-class, still fabulous skills. But I think one of the more interesting things of the night, we'll see, how does Adrian Broner react as well coming off his first loss? Meantime, a guy who was very impressive just last week, one of the top welterweights in the world, and maybe a future opponent and a dangerous opponent for Floyd Mayweather, Keith Thurman. Brian Custer is with Thurman right now. Brian?
All right, BK, thank you very much. I'm here with one-time Keith Thurman. You seem like to be one of the hottest welterweights in the division right now. And a lot of guys don't want to fight you because of the punching power. Do you think if you continue on this trend, Floyd Mayweather will avoid Keith Thurman?
No, it's a possibility. You know, to be honest, I just want my shot at the WBA world title, considering that I'm the #1 contender in the WBA. Floyd's going to be fighting for that title come tomorrow night. He can either take the mandatory, bypass the mandatory, won't be the first time for me, or vacate the title, and then I would get the shot that I deserve at the WBA world title. There's many in the world of boxing and options, and we'll see what happens.
Well, one of those options, because you've been so hot, is Shawn Porter coming off his win over PAULIE MALIGNAGGI. Could you see a Keith Thurman-Shawn Porter matchup? Is that something you want?
Most definitely. Shawn Porter and myself are the two youngest, undefeated, most exciting welterweights in the world of boxing today. But Shawn Porter has to go and fight Kell Brook overseas. I don't know if it's going to be a fight that happens overseas or if they bring Kell Brook over here. He champion is going to be fighting his mandatory. I respect that, and you know, it's a fight can happen in the future, and it will be an exciting fight for the fans.
I'm Keith Thurman. We appreciate the time. Speaking of Shawn Porter, he's now with our Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much. Shawn, they're just talking about you down there, Keith Thurman, but you got Kell Brook maybe first.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Kell Brook. I've been told that they're going to do a purse bid pretty soon, so it's looking like it's going to be Kell Brook in July.
And then Brian Custer just asked Keith Thurman about fighting him. Is that something you would like to do?
Listen, the buzz is crazy about that fight. It's very exciting. I know it's not going to happen yet, but it's amazing to see how much people want that fight. Yeah.
How are you handling all of this success? How are you handling beating PAULIE MALIGNAGGI? It was a huge belt, a huge notch in your belt, and to get a name like PAULIE and such an accomplished fighter.
Yeah, man, a huge accomplishment. A guy that I respect tremendously, and just a blessing. But I'm just being myself, having fun, and that's it, man. Just taking it one stride at a time.
This is the real deal, Jim Gray.
Bernard Hopkins.
Real deal. Real deal. Congratulations. He was on the DC card, man, and you know what? I must say he stole the show. I know I did great. I know I won another title, but he stole the show because fantastic knockout, discipline, star.
Thank you very much, Bernard. Thank you.
And of course, you beat Shumanov, and now you're looking forward to Stevenson's fight against Farfana up there in Montreal on the 24th of May. How do you see that fight? Because everybody's kind of looking toward you and Stevenson after that.
Well, I'm hoping Stevenson live up to his bargain, his part, and that is take care of his business. I took him out, so I'm pretty sure that he understands he wants to outdo what I did 2 weeks ago. I'm looking forward to watching it.
When you're fighting a guy who's at this age, how do you prepare? How is it that you're able to do at age 49 against all these guys 18, 19, 20 years younger?
They're not Porter. And if they was Porter, I'd be running another way. But honestly, that's the best answer and the great answer. They're not Porter. That's all I can tell you. They are somebody that has skills, but you know, mentally the fight is won. Physically, the fight is completed. So mentally and then physically. Mentally, I believe that they have to deal with that first, and then the physically, that's another problem.
Last thought, who do you like tomorrow night?
I like Floyd Mayweather, possibly TKO or cuts, anything like that, but I think it's going to be not a cakewalk for him. It's going to be a tug of war and resistance on both ends, but I think that the skills and also the experience of Mayweather and the work as he has been all these years under whatever stress, whatever distractions, I think it's motivation. I think he's going to be an animal tomorrow.
All right, we appreciate it. Bernard, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow night.
Thank you, Jim.
Shawn, we'll see you down the road here on Showtime.
Thank you very much.
This guy's the truth.
And let's send it back to our truth. Truth or consequences, Mr. Brian Kenny.
I knew he'd get a shot in there somewhere, Jim. Yeah. Thank you. The ageless Bernard Hopkins, and then Shawn Porter as well.
Always a promoter, B-Hop.
How about that? All right, Shawn Porter, Keith Thurman, obviously you're just in the ring, Paulie. You heard what he had to say. I know not great for you to hear that, but this is one of the young lions in the division.
Yeah, of course, and both guys are actually young lions. Both guys strong, guys that are probably going to have to be dealt with for a while. But Thurman made a good point. Kell Brook has to fight Shawn Porter next, and Kell Brook's been making some noise overseas, so I think it's a good matchup between two solid welterweights there.
You know,
undefeated, both guys.
Yeah, Al, I had this crazy idea this morning where someone came back with me one time, hey, can Pacquiao and Mayweather still happen? And we were talking about Keith Thurman, and I just thought, and I don't know why it just occurred to me today, but I thought Keith Thurman is a more dangerous guy today than Manny Pacquiao. As of now, he's a bigger guy, poised, heavy-handed. Am I crazy thinking that?
Well, he could be. You know, I think Keith Thurman is the elephant in the room in the welterweight division. And we're talking about Kell Brook, we're talking about Porter, Mayweather, Maidana, all these people that are very talented. Keith has shown us in his last 3 or 4 fights, he's getting better and better and better, and all he needs is an opportunity to either, you know, maybe get a title or be in there against somebody like Mayweather.
Morrow, I think it's a matter of, is it ripe enough? Like, I would understand Floyd thinking now, wow, real risk, Porter, Thurman, I got to go after these guys when, yeah, people who watch Showtime Championship Boxing on a regular basis, they know that these guys are the real deal, but does the mainstream buying public understand that yet?
Well, that's exactly the question everyone is asking, and maybe you would like to see a Shawn Porter and Keith Thurman definitively produce the next big thing at welterweight. But with 3 fights now left after Saturday night for Floyd Mayweather, we have Amir Khan auditioning on Saturday night against Luis Collazo. We have, who knows, maybe even Bernard Hopkins. Remember, he talked about the fact that at the end of Floyd Mayweather's contract, if he runs the table, he'll be 49-0, but B-Hop will be 50 years old in January of next year. Maybe we're going to have that 50-50 showdown between the ageless wonder and the man who might want to beat Rocky Marciano's record and go 50-0 at welterweight.
He's 175 pounds. Come on. I don't care if he's 70 years old. No, I don't. Well, I don't know. You never know. All right. Again, Floyd Mayweather, Marcos Maidana will be here in just a moment. They're on their way up. First, let's go to Brian Custer.
166.5 pounds.
All right, BK, thank you very much. I'm here with the WBO middleweight champion of the world, Kid Chocolate Peter Quillin. You watched this weigh-in. Give me your thoughts, the key to that main event when you talk about Floyd Mayweather, Marcos Maidana.
Well, let's just say, first of all, this is like a show right here, being at a weigh-in like this. So it's very inspirational to be here. But the fight all around, this is a great matchup. You got a pure slugger and you got a pure boxer. Everybody loves to see a fight like that. And I think this is why we're going to tune in this Saturday to watch this fight, because, you know, you're going to see what both guys are going to bring to the table. You know, Floyd is the best in the world, and Maidana has to prove that he wants to be at that level.
Who do you think wins?
I think Floyd is always going to win because he just know how to outsmart a guy. He sets the pace in the fight, and most importantly, man, he just can't be proven wrong. He got 17 years in the game, and he's undefeated, man. So I can never go against a guy like that. Plus, he's from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
We just saw you were here fairly recently on Showtime Championship Boxing. Talk to me about, when are you back in the ring? I understand maybe in the summer. Who do you want to fight?
Well, if they told me to be a replacement for this Saturday's fight, I'm ready. You know, I don't look like I even had a fight right now, so I could just say I'm ready to get back in the ring by July, August, man. You know, this is my job, and I don't take too much time off. I like to stay active. Mike Tyson just told me having activity is better than having no activity, and that's what give a fighter longevity.
You know, we had Daniel Jacobs on our air commentating some of the fights the past couple of weeks. I thought it was interesting. You guys were sitting next to each other. There's a lot of talk of a Kid Chocolate, Daniel Jacobs maybe matchup at the Barclays Center. Would you like to see that kind of fight? And do you want that fight?
Well, you know, of course I want the bigger names like, you know, Sergio Martinez, Janeta Golovkin, winner Cotto and Martinez. But, you know, if it's a fight that's on the table and they can pay me for it right in the backyard in Brooklyn, all I got to do is get in my Corvette and go right up the street. Why not, man? I just think the most important part of boxing is that I don't have a lot of control over a lot of things. I'm in control of going to the gym, working hard, and being ready for anybody.
All right, Kid Chocolate, appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, let's get it back up to Brian Kenny.
Yes, it is. It's All Access Live right now. I'm joined by the welterweight champion of the world and the junior middleweight champion of the world. You're both, Floyd. You beat Canelo Alvarez, and you're both, and we welcome you in here, Floyd. It's great to have you back up here.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here, you know, for another great event, a great turnout. And, you know, I wouldn't be here without the fans. And, of course, Chino Maidana, he's up here. And he's another great champion, another great warrior. And tomorrow we're going to go out there and do what we do best, entertain.
Here with Marcos Maidana as well, the challenger tomorrow night. Felix de Jesus will do the translation. First, Marcos, what are your thoughts on walk-in for the weigh-in? That's got to be something a little different for him.
Un poquito diferente en lo que se refiere al pesaje y toda la audiencia que estaba aquí hoy, Marcos. ¿Qué pensaste?
La verdad que se vivió todo como una cosa impresionante para mí porque nunca había vivido algo tanto así. Así que bueno, esto es lo más grande que me ha pasado en mi carrera boxística.
It was very exciting, very emotional, this weigh-in with this crowd, all the Latinos here, so he was very happy with this.
Is it possible to treat this like just a regular fight with all of this surrounding this event when this guy's involved?
¿Es posible que esta pelea sea una normal solamente con tantas cosas que están pasando?
No es una pelea normal para mí, pero bueno, yo estoy tranquilo, sé que no me tengo que no me tiene que afectar esto, estoy muy tranquilo, así que es una pelea muy grande y muy importante para mí.
It's a very important fight for him, but he's very calm and he's going to treat it just like a normal fight. He knows the magnitude of this fight, but he's very calm and he's going to treat it like a normal fight.
Floyd, I talked to Bernard Hopkins this morning, and he said, like, guys think it's going to be a certain way, and then they get in, and it's different. And I sense that with guys, even Canelo, he thought it would be a certain way. You get in with you, it's a little different. Can you sense that in other fighters?
I can't really say. My job is always, I never focus on things that's going on the outside, as far as, you know, how many people showed up, but I'm very, very appreciative for the fans and everybody that goes out and purchase pay-per-view. I'm thankful for that. You know, from fans, you know, come here from all around the world. I'm very, very thankful for that. But my focus is to go out there and be the best. And take my time, keep my composure, and listen to the instructions that my father gives me. That's my job. But of course, you know, I'm thankful to be where I'm at. I'm thankful for the fans because, like I said before, to be here, to be a professional 18 years, and to be world champion 17 years is truly a blessing.
Floyd, I don't want to pry into your personal life, but it's been out there, and I have to ask, it's been out there on your Facebook, on Twitter, relationship with your ex-fiance and how that affects you and your life. How are you?
I'm only human. You know, I never claim to be Superman. I'm only human, and certain things hurt. You know, certain things hurt. You know, I'm an emotional person. You know, but in the sport of right now, my focus is Marcos Maidana, and that's going out there and doing what we do best, and that's perform and be exciting.
Can you compartmentalize that? Go in and start hitting the bag or hitting the pads and everything, and that everything else goes away?
Well, you know, it's just like in the past. I've had a lot of obstacles in the way in the past. And I always seem to go out there, perform, and look well, and I go out there and do what I do best.
What is it like for you to come in here just to have this event again? There's a huge crowd coming in. I mean, you set the bar with the Canelo fight. It was crazy, and even the De La Hoya fight. But this was a huge crowd here today.
I mean, it's an unbelievable atmosphere. You know, you got a guy, you know, he's a champion, I'm a champion. And when you bring the two together, you get nothing but an explosion. So he don't have to worry about, you know, tomorrow. I know, you know, people can say it's going to be like this. One thing I got to let him know, I'm Floyd Mayweather. I'm not Adrian Broner. This is a total different fighter, you know, and I have a lot more experience than Adrian Broner. I'm not saying Adrian Broner is not a good fighter, but this is a total different level, and this is a total different fighter.
You went right after this guy early in Adrian Broner, Marcos. Tell us, is early in the fight of vital importance to get after Floyd?
En la pelea de Broner lo atacaste directamente. ¿Eso es algo vital frente a un Floyd Mayweather?
Bueno, sí, yo creo que Mayweather no es Broner, es otro boxeador muy diferente, muy rápido, muy inteligente. Bueno, tengo que salir también con mi cuidado y muy precavido porque me puede contragolpear muy bien.
No, he totally understands that Mayweather's a much different fighter than Broner, much more quickness, and he has to come out a little cautious, but you know, he's going to come out the way he knows how to come out.
All right, how is that? What's the early? We saw when he came out against Broner. You know, raring to go. Are we going to see that? Is that important?
¿Cuál es el plan para salir frente a Mayweather en el primer asalto?
No, salir tranquilo, ver qué es lo que hace, ¿no? Y bueno, salir a pelear como siempre. Con Broner salí muy a presionarlo porque sabía que Broner nunca lo habían atacado así y bueno, era falta de experiencia también de él, pero no puedo salir con Floyd tan así porque yo sé que mucha experiencia y tiene mucho para contragolpear y todo eso.
No, he knows he can't come out like that, how he came out with Broner. He knew that by pressuring Broner, he was going to get to him. He knows that Mayweather has a lot of experience and could counter punch. So he's going to come out calm and see what Mayweather comes out with the first round for him.
Floyd, I know you're a champ and you're also a promoter, but are you just being so polite because you can't understand what you're saying? There's no trash talking when you're up there and you just look at him and you go away?
I mean, the thing is that I don't have anything disrespectful to say about this guy. He's never said anything disrespectful about me, but when you get to this level it's obvious I got here somehow, some way. You know, in the beginning of my career, of course, I was more like, I wanted the world to know I'm the best, I'm the best. But once you've been here so long, you don't have to say nothing. My skills speaks for speaks for themselves. And it's more like, you know, like with Adrian Broner, he's a lightweight. He's a 135 pounder. Whereas with myself, I'm a bigger guy. You know, I believe I'm a natural welterweight because I walk around at 150, 147. And I'll commend him. He's a champion, and he earned it the hard way. So, you know, only thing I can do is I respect him as a man, of course, but, you know, in a fight game, the best have to fight the best. And as of right now, I'm the best, and he's one of the best out there also. And this is what the fans want to see.
Marcos, what has it been like dealing with this man in the build-up to the fight?
¿Cómo ha sido estar en contacto con Mayweather antes de la pelea, la promoción y todo?
Bueno, la verdad que lo he visto muy poco ahora y anteriormente no lo había cruzado, pero bueno, es un gusto para mí estar frente a él, pelear con él, para mí es un orgullo muy grande.
To tell you the truth, we haven't really crossed paths that much during the promotional activities, but for me, it's an honor to face Floyd Mayweather.
How has he been able to get off the deck and when he's trailing, still get after guys and get the job done? Because that's what he's famous for.
¿Cómo hace el trabajo, Marco, después que te tumban y después venir y tumbar al otro y noquear al otro oponente?
Bueno, la verdad que ese es mi estilo de boxeo, no es que me nace, no lo practico ni nada, pero bueno, me nace de mi persona.
That's really my style. It's not that I practice to do this. It's just that this is how it happens.
Yeah, no, he's resilient is what he is. Now, you discourage guys. This guy's tough to discourage. What do you think happens then? Later rounds, as you usually get comfortable and you get in the pocket, what do you think happens?
This is the elite level. This is not regular, you know, fighting on a regular network. This is not free TV. This is pay-per-view. And so, you know, this is a total different level. A lot of times, I think guys get to this level and think that it's just ordinary. You know, I didn't get here by just being, you know, just trying to, you know, just having a regular style. I got here by making adjustments, dedicating myself, working hard, and believing. And I have a tremendous team, but I believed in my skills from day one in '87. But he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter, and we're gonna go out there tomorrow and do what we do best: entertain. That's what it's about. Because you know, once you get to this level, it's a business. You know, I'm truly blessed to have the biggest deal in sports history from the best network, Showtime, and also CBS.
I will not dispute that. And you've been at the top of your craft for a long time. You've been very dedicated.
Yes.
And it's a pleasure to see you fight. I'm glad you're fighting this guy. I think the fans are excited about that.
Oh man, it's gonna be a good one.
Marcus, thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. Marcos Maidana, Floyd Money Mayweather, welterweight championship of the world, coming your way here from the MGM Grand Garden Arena tomorrow night in Las Vegas. Take a look at the card. It's a very deep card. Amir Khan, he wants in on Floyd Mayweather as well. He's taking on Luis Collazo. The return of Adrian Broner after his first pro loss at the hands of Marcos Maidana, taking on Carlos Molina, and also J. Leon Love, undefeated, 17-0, taking on Marco Antonio Periban as well. That's tomorrow night on Showtime pay-per-view, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Now, earlier, we invited you to check out our website, show.com/sports, for Maidana moments to view and pick your favorite. You have been voting, and you can continue to vote through the night and vote tomorrow as well, as so far it's a runaway hit. People wanted to see Broner lose, Floyd. That's what they wanted at 73%, and they saw it. Now Maidana gets his shot at the champ at 147 and 154 tomorrow night. You can still vote on show.com/sports. That'll do it for this afternoon here at the MGM Grand. Again, tomorrow, 8 Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Showtime will bring you Mayweather Maidana countdown live as we approach the big four-fight card. Then the pay-per-view itself starts on Showtime pay-per-view, 9 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. The main event, of course, the welterweight title fight. #1 pound-for-pound, Floyd Money Mayweather against Marcos Maidana, Amir Khan, Luis Collazo, and also Adrian Broner taking on Carlos Molina. That'll do it for this Showtime Boxing Special Edition. Our thanks to Al Bernstein, Mauro Ranallo, Paulie, Malinaggi, Jim Gray, and Brian Custer. I'm Brian Kenny. We'll see you tomorrow night right here in Las Vegas.